Ash Ketchum is an icon for the Pokemon franchise, and one of the most recognizable cartoon characters of all time. I wouldn't say that he's like Pokemon's Mickey Mouse or Bugs Bunny, where he's the flagship character of the franchise, because that role is filled by his best friend and longtime companion, the one and only Pikachu. But although Pikachu is the franchise's mascot and Ash's first partner, he is never the main focus of any individual series of Pokemon, or the focal point of any of Ash's teams, what one might usually call the ace. Until now. Well, not exactly now. Well, Pokemon Journeys has been great so far, and I did recently make the executive decision to start watching in Japanese to free myself from the dub's wacky release schedule. I want to go back to discuss the series that preceded Journeys, Sun and Moon. Every team of Ashes has had an ace. It was Charizard through Johto, Sceptile and Hoenn, Infernape and Sinnoh, Crocodile and Unova, and Greninja/Ash Greninja and Kalos, obviously. There are three main factors I consider when I think about any ace of Ash's team. The Pokemon needs to be strong, typically the team's strongest member, be very consistent in terms of win rate, and or get some kind of special treatment in relation to that region's gimmick. This only really applies for the three most recent series. The thing that's weird about Ash's Sun and Moon team is that it's really balanced. All its members are pretty much on par with each other in terms of strength, battle-wise, not base stat-wise, and none of them really differ from the other members of their species. Okay, technically Lycanroc does with its Dusk form, but that's not in relation to Alola's gimmick, that being Z-moves. Some YouTubers have had their say in this matter. Animated Ginger, a YouTuber who regularly discusses the Pokemon anime, believes that there is no ace.
I only feel this team lacked a real MVP, something the next two teams definitely have. Nevertheless, Ash's Alolan team was truly spectacular.
And Lumia's trainer Zach, another popular Poketuber, believed that it's Lycanroc.
Right off the bat, Lycanroc is taken out by Braviary, and this was actually pretty smart, because not only does it show that Kukui is strong enough to defeat the Pokemon that won Ash the League, but it also means that Ash can't rely on his ace anymore.
But I feel Pikachu is being overlooked as a candidate for this title, because his status as Ash's first Pokemon make people overlook him, since all of his other aces have been new Pokemon, with the exclusion of Johto with Charizard. So let's go over the three criteria I listed for being an ace and see how well Pikachu fits them. First, let's go over Pikachu's strength and efficiency in relation to the rest of Ash's Alola team. In terms of raw strength, Pikachu is not a very strong Pokemon just by looking at its base stats, with a total of 320. While base stats are a very main series game specific metric of measuring Pokemon strength, it's the best and really only judge we have to set a baseline for Pokemon strength. In fact, Pikachu is the weakest member of Ash's Sun and Moon team in terms of base stats, tied with Rowlet at the total of 320 mentioned before. But in the Pokemon anime continuity, having good base stats alone doesn't necessarily translate to strength in battle, Torterra. The Pokemon has to be good at using its abilities to its advantage in battle. A good example of this is Ash's Rowlet, who went toe-to-toe with its evolved and objectively much stronger form Decidueye, and used its small frame and speed, as well as some whack sleep patterns and an overturned call, to defeat Decidueye and prove that it was the superior Pokemon. Pikachu has done this on quite a few occasions, but let's focus on the occurrences of this in Alola. There are a lot of them, but I'll go over just a few. He defeats Hapu's Mudsdale, who, I might add, resisted half of Pikachu's moves, and he still made it work. It also defeated Guzma's Golisopod, which was previously thought of as undefeated, and, the biggest one of all, he defeated Tapu Koko, the Island Guardian and legendary Pokemon of Melee Island, with the help of a certain Z-move. More on that later. In terms of consistency, Ash's Alola team is also pretty balanced, with all the Pokemon's win rates being within 20% of one another. A graphic made by DeviantArt user Pokemon Master Wheeler depicts all of Ash's Alola Pokemon with their win rate. Pikachu was the Pokemon with the highest win rate, with it being at 94%. This is especially impressive when considering that Pikachu fought the most battles out of any of the Alola squad, which is typical of him for any series, but that usually leads to Pikachu having a lower win rate. But Pikachu's win rate is the highest of the team, being 8 percentage points higher than the next highest, Naganadel, who only fought 7 battles. And after Naganadel, it's Incineroar with a win rate of 83%, 11 points lower than Pikachu. Pikachu only lost 3 battles out of 48 in the Alola region, which is not just the best win rate of any Alola Pokemon, but also the best win rate of any Pokemon in a single region throughout the whole series. The one thing about Pikachu in Sun and Moon that can't be overlooked is the special Z-move, 10 million Volt Thunderbolt. A Z-move is something special in the Alola region, and certain Pokemon even have their own special Z-moves that only their species can use. But Ash and Pikachu have their own Z-move that only they can use, which is even different from the Pikachu exclusive Z-move, Catastrophica. This is very similar to the Ash Greninja transformation. Ash and Greninja could perform a transformation that made Greninja insanely powerful. It was more than any other trainer and any other Greninja could pull off. It also functioned as Ash and Greninja's version of Mega Evolution, the gimmick of the XY games and anime. It's the same situation with 10 million volt Thunderbolt. No other Pokemon trainer combination could pull it off, and Greninja was the ace of Ash's Kalos team, so it makes sense that the Alola Pokemon that could use a Z-move, which was Alola's gimmick, that no other could, would be Ash's ace, and in this case, it was Pikachu. This theory is further evidenced by the fact that Ash and Pikachu have a very special bond, just like Ash and Greninja did, and arguably even more special. This kind of a bond between trainer and Pokemon would naturally result in them being able to do something extra special together, such as a 10 million volt Thunderbolt Z-move, and later, in Pokemon Journeys, Gigantamaxing. This bond is also part of the reason why Tapu Koko took such an interest in them, and to my knowledge, Island Guardians don't go challenging people out of nowhere. Ash and Pikachu absolutely have something special. Pikachu also used a Z-move more times than any of Ash's other Pokemon. It would take forever to list off every single time he used a Z-move, but the most important ones were Breakneck Blitz against Hala and Gladion, Gigavolt Havoc against Hapu and Guzma, and 10 million volt Thunderbolt versus Nihilego to save Lusamine, and against Tapu Koko for the final time versus Kukui. Ash's ace was always a new Pokemon of the region, one with great power and the ability to push itself just beyond the limits of every other Pokemon that was a member of its species. Pikachu broke that trend by being that Pokemon in Sun and Moon, pushing itself far beyond the threshold of any other Pikachu, and going toe-to-toe with some of the most powerful and challenging opponents the Alola region had to offer, thereby proving it was a strong battler. It was also able to take advantage of a special Z-move to defeat two legendaries in two separate battles. Yes, Ultra Beasts are legendaries. Pikachu fits all the criteria I've listed required to be an ace, and despite the fact that he isn't a new Alola Pokemon, the evidence listed above provides enough to show that Pikachu is the ace of Ash's Alola team. Thanks for watching my first ever video. A big thank you to Animated Ginger for not only letting me use clips, but being really supportive and helpful throughout the process of my making this video. The same goes for Shiny Zoroark. Be sure to check out their channels. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if all goes well, I'll see you next time.